Good morning to all of you. So I am going to present with the title today, Assimilation-Based Analytic Hierarchy Process for Fund Allocation Assessment. I am Ruzanna together with my colleague, Fatin Amira Ahmad Shukri, Sharifah Aisyah Said Ali, and Aizalatul Ali, when we are from National Defence University of Malaysia. Okay, financial decision making is important in planning a resourceful finance budget. The current financial crisis and decreased funding by the government have impacted decreasing funding received at all sectors. In due time, resource competition will be tight, especially among the university faculties, and this needs to be resolved. Therefore, a well-planned budget allocation is crucial since it will effectively distributing resources to the most desired place, which will result in significant financial savings. We have three main objectives here. The first one is to identify the main criteria and sub-criteria of the faculty budget allocation. And secondly, to use the AHP approach and compute priority weight for the main and sub-criteria. And third, to aggregate different weights of each criterion using simulation. This slide basically told us that although there are research in the literature who did about simulation, but throughout our observation, studies the lacking of using randomized dataset for enhancing the efficiency of the budgeting process at higher learning institutions. So that is our motivation to use randomized dataset in faculty setting. So we begin our research by collecting the data through our questionnaire given to 8 participants who are decision makers, which consists from the faculty deans, deputy deans, head of departments, senior administrative staff, and experienced lecturers with over than 10 years of service. And we also extract the main criteria based on the expenditure book provided by the government of Malaysia. And we identified 5 main criteria, which are material and supply, research and development, teaching and learning, maintenance, and staff claims. And we constructed 3 sub-criteria under the main criteria. Altogether, we have about 15 sub-criteria as listed in this table, as you can see here. Okay, and then we move forward with the we follow the standard procedure in steps in AHP. Okay, and we extend a further steps, especially at steps number 9, where we conducted a simulation-based criteria AHP evaluation, where we consider the different weights, which means that the different opinion from the experts, from the decision maker, for each criterion and sub-criteria, and they are aggregated using simulation. These cover the criterion uncertainties, and it will produce a cumulative dataset distribution, and from there we calculate the Emax, which is the maximum weighted score, and E-mean, the minimum weighted score for each criterion. So the measure of mean and median of the randomized weighted is taken. So actually we measure the mean and median from the weightage. So a high mean or a high median value suggests a high evaluation of the criteria, which equivalent to the most or high preference of that decision maker, and vice versa if the value is low. So by this way, actually we intend to reduce the expert, the decision maker inputs uncertainties. All right. So this is one of the results using classic AHP, where it showed three main criteria as the most preference. The first one is teaching and learning, second is maintenance, and third is material and supply. And this result is actually consistent when we try to compute the using alternative AHP methods, namely simulation-based and also fuzzy AHP. So in the first rank, it is teaching and learning, and following by maintenance, and in the third place is material and supply. All right, so this is for the main criteria. So we extend further to the sub-criteria evaluation or to see the ranking. So evaluation in classic AHP, by using the evaluation in classic AHP, the first is the decision maker suggests the budget to go to laboratory machine and equipment, which is S10, sub-criteria 10, followed by sub-criteria 4, which is stand for training or conference, and third is for S7, meaning teaching and learning equipment. And then we also observe that the top three priorities for sub-criteria are actually identical, where either using a classic AHP method or simulation-based AHP or fuzzy AHP, we observe that S4, S7, and S10 are identical as top three preferences, although they are different only in ranking order. All right, and then for third column and fifth column, the ranking is based on weighted mean. So these two evaluations have similarities in ranking for sub-criteria 1, S1, S12, and S13. And when we compare with the fuzzy AHP, the proposed simulation AHP method ranked item S2, S3, and S7 similarly. And we further conduct an observation and find out that by using the median score, most decision makers showed similar preferences for sub-criteria number 3, 4, 5, 9, 12, and 13 for both geometric, weighted, and simulated aggregations under the median score. However, when we try to compare with the geometric mean, the ranking between the classic AHP and the simulation-based AHP is quite unpredictable, where the criteria weights showing deviating results and rank reversal. So as a conclusion, this study demonstrates that the suggested AHP method is applicable as an evaluation tool. The median value is more significant. This signifies that the decision maker preference are more reliable using the median score, because based on the table before, it has consistency using any method when we compare the median score. Okay, this also highlights the importance of including weightage representing the evaluators in calculating the final weight of the criteria, because we also consider, when we do this, we also consider the variation in decision maker judgment. And we also find out that teaching and learning was the most important or the most preference elements in budget allocation according to the decision maker. And for sub-criteria, they are 4 at least, the most important, which is S10, laboratory machines and equipment, S7, teaching learning equipment and device. S4, training or conferences. S13, travel allowances. And S1, office supplies. Or by in the table, we can see the highlighted here, the most preference by the decision maker. So in future, we will try to investigate the alternative. As for now, we only considering the criteria and sub-criteria, and in the future, we might include as well the alternative in the study. And our second attempt is to do the database design for this AHP simulation-based calculation. For your information, currently we use our own Excel interface. So we will extend this to make it in the website or our database design, so that when decision maker enter their input, it will be in the database. So much practical in the future. Okay, that's all from me. And